I'm not going to be kicked out of the webinar room for a third time. Today, we're talking about how Google is grading your website that are going to show how you actually show up in Google search and what you can do to create a better website that performs better in the Google search results as well. If you have just joined us, I can let you know now that this lot will come to your inbox after. So if you have to jump out at any point, absolutely don't worry. You are going to get a recording of everything. If you have questions to ask me and Alfonso, please drop them in the chat. That will be on the right-hand side. And we will have a couple of minutes at least at the end for Q&A. I have also just set a poll live asking about your biggest challenge that you're facing right now with website performance. We are super interested to know what problems you're encountering, what you're measuring, what you're not measuring, and hopefully we can help with some of those today. So I'm Charlie, CEO at Exposure Ninja. We are the UK's best SEO and integrated search agency, named for 2026 at the Global Agency Awards, and we help customers get more businesses and new consumers find them through organic and paid search platforms. And today I'm joined by Alfonso, hello.
Hey everyone, hello. Hope you can hear me well. I'm Alfonso from Argentina. I work in the WP Rocket support team. I'm the deputy support manager. Been working there for 7 years, troubleshooting websites and mostly focused on performance and fixing related issues. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Charlie, for inviting me.
Amazing. I'm so glad to have you on. So I'm hearing from the audience that our biggest challenges are pretty split. Some people haven't yet measured their website performance. So this is going to be the first time they are figuring out how to do that. And Alfonso and I are here to help you. A couple of people have made improvements, not yet seen results. A couple of people are saying their developers have other priorities, which this always seems to be the case. Website performance, though, is a massive business priority. So we'll talk about that. And a couple of people also saying we don't yet know what to fix first. So all of these we will be talking about and addressing in the webinar today. So let's actually start with the foundations. What I like to think about when I think about SEO is a pyramid, and SEO is built up. It's built with our technical foundations. And before we have these, we can't build the top of the pyramid. We have to have a really strong website, really good technical SEO before we start going into our on-site content and building out our content. Without the great technical foundations, this content isn't going to perform well. And before we start getting into our offsite, which is the part of SEO that people tend to think of as the most fun, but it's also the part that you only get to once you've done the hard groundwork. This is things like our digital PR, our directory listings, building third-party links. And today we're focusing in on the technical SEO. We're focusing in on what you can do for your website, what you can do for your performance, what you can do for your web core vitals to make sure that people have a fantastic experience. So what we're going to cover today, I'm going to take you through the foundations. I'm going to take you through some of the strategic and technical basics of website performance and SEO. And Alfonso is then going to take the mic partway through to give you a live look at what this is like in practice and how you can use WP Rocket to optimize that performance and as well manage multiple sites. So if you are managing more than one website, if you're a global brand with multi-sites, different language sites, then this is for you as well. And at the end, we will get to Q&A. So let's kick off. Why website performance matters more than it ever did. When we want our website to actually show up in Google search results, a couple of different things are happening. First, Google bots are crawling the web to try and find new, fresh content that's relevant to what people are searching. Then they're indexing that. They're organizing the content, they're sorting it, and they're storing it in Google's index. And that ultimately takes us through to the rankings, the ranking algorithms that decide which pages from our website show up in the search engine results pages for certain keywords and in what order they show up as well. So this is when we're thinking about actually what are our customers searching to ultimately find our website and making sure that we are on the commercial terms we really, really care about. Now, one of the biggest myths is that this is a developer's problem, but website performance is a huge business issue. It is not just a tech item. It affects our first impressions of a website and actually whether we think a business is trustworthy at all. It affects engagement and conversions on the site. Faster sites that have smoother loading tend to keep people browsing for longer. And the longer someone stays on your website, the more likely they are to continue their search journey and ultimately submit a form, make a phone call, buy a product, get a demo, whatever your main CTA is on the site. And it also feeds our search visibility. It feeds Google's ranking signals, because if we are having a good experience on the page and we're staying on that website for longer, it's more likely to influence us to actually show in the search results. Plus, the cost of doing nothing is very high. The longer these issues manifest on a website, the more traffic and ultimately the more revenue a business is leaking as well. So we know for sure that search rewards fast and stable website experiences. We know that Google is measuring the experience our real users get. And we know that Google wants to see at least 75% of a visit to a page having a really good experience in order for a website to be passing its web core vitals. And if you haven't heard of this, I'm about to get into it in a minute, so don't worry. So the 4 technical foundations that we're going to look at first: speed, crawlability, mobile and responsiveness, and site structure and signals. These are the foundations, and I'm going to pick up on speed and mobile and responsiveness first. Now, this is Web Core Vitals. If you haven't seen it before, you can find it in your Google search console, and it just looks like this. I have anonymized this so that we don't know whose Web Core Vitals they are, but this business shows you both the mobile and the desktop. We can see from this already that the desktop is looking quite healthy. That green line is showing us 292 good URLs, good website links. This mobile one, though, is showing a lot of up and down and showing there's a lot of web pages needing improvement, which is what the yellow line is. So this shows us how well our website is performing at a top level when we're thinking about the mobile and desktop version of our site. And you can find that just navigating in Search Console on the left menu there. Now, if I dig into this business a little more and I take a look at what's actually going on the mobile, it immediately tells me there's an LCP issue. So I can figure out what the issue is, and I can see all 292 URLs that are being affected by this and over what time frame they're also being impacted. This is the first place to start, to know that there's technical issues on a website and to get an idea of what they look like and if you actually need to make some changes to make improvements on your website performance. You can also have a look at page speed insights. So if you're not yet inside your search console, you can go to Google's page speed insights. You can just search this on Google and find it, and it will pull up a report of your web core vitals as well. You can run this for any URL. You can run it for your own business. You can run it for a competitor to see what's going on. And what you're looking for here is the best scores possible. If you've passed the web core vitals, that's the best outcome. But there are also lots of things that impact whether someone has a pass or a fail status. If you have a fail status, it doesn't mean you're not going to show up on the Google search results, but it does mean that there are areas that your website performance could be improved and things that you could be doing on a development level. So you can see here, there's a pass and there's a fail version of this. So let's take a look at what actually holds websites back. And there's a lot of different things that could be going on that impact how a website is performing. One of the biggest issues can be heavy unoptimized images. If we've put loads of large files onto our website and not optimized them, not compressed them, that can really cause issues with loading time. If there's not caching, it means that actually it's wasting a lot of server time. And when someone comes to the site, it's reloading every page from the previous version that they've seen. And remember, a lot of the time when our customers come to the site, they're not checking out or they're not inquiring on a first visit. Most likely they'll be on our site, they might leave it and they might come back to it later as they're going through their search journey, because search journeys aren't always completed end to end. It can take someone a lot longer to decide to actually inquire. There could be render blocking code, CSS and JavaScript that's loading, causing content delays, and what the visitor sees, therefore, isn't always showing up immediately on time. There can be also just bloat. This can be code bloat. It can be from plugins and scripts that you have. The more tools and things that you add onto your website, the slower it's going to load, especially if you've got things that are sitting unused, like deactivated plugins or old themes as well. We can also see layouts changing, and we can see poor mobile experience. Now, if you're actually not sure about any of these areas and you're not sure where to start looking and you want to improve your website performance score, our team of marketing consultants offer quick calls to take you through what your score looks like and what you can do to improve them. So you can always book a call with us, and you can find us at exposureninja.com to help with some of these areas. So let's go back to our technical foundations now. Now I want to jump into crawlability. This is whether search engines can actually find and access and index your pages. So can Google find your pages? If you have a newer site, or if you have just gone through a big rebuild of a website, this is most likely going to be the time when you are having issues with Google finding your pages, unless some big technical changes happened on site. So things that Google expects. We want XML sitemaps. You want clean, up-to-date sitemaps so that Google has a complete map of all of your website's pages that you want to be indexed, and they're the ones you want to show up. Google wants to see internal linking. That's pages that are linked together logically so that crawlers and website visitors can reach everything that they want to reach and navigate through the site. And robots and indexing rules. This is making sure your robots.txt is in good shape. Your robots.txt file is also where you allow crawlers from AI search. So if you want your content to show up in ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and other AI platforms, which for the majority of businesses you do, then you want to make sure your robots.txt is fully up to date so that it's not blocking any pages from showing up in Google and the AI results. And you also want to fix all your broken links and redirects. This is 404s, long redirect chains that waste crawl budget and cause dead ends, also for your visitors who are clicking on them. This is a really, really common issue if you've been rebuilding or you're migrating to a new website, creating new pages, even if you're potentially renaming things such as your blog. If you renamed it to insights or resources, it can change a significant number of URLs on your website. And as much as possible, you want to avoid and minimize the amount that you do that. Otherwise, you'll be creating lots of redirect chains. So last up in our 4 technical foundations is our structure and our signals. And this is about how we build a logical site architecture and how we have structured data, our schema, that helps engines to understand the content. And I'm talking here about Google and AI search because this structure and these signals are incredibly important to both. So when we're thinking about our website architecture, we're thinking about how we build something that is easy to understand. And I like to think about this a little bit like a library. When you walk into a library and you're looking for a book, you expect to be able to go to the genre that you want to find, and then by surname or alphabetically by author to find a specific book. If you come to a website and you can't logically go through the menu navigation to find where you want to go, it creates a really difficult experience as a user. It's like walking into a library and finding all of the books are in chaos and on the floor. You'd have very little patience to actually search for the book that you want to get to. So our website architecture helps both users on the website to navigate to the exact pages that they want to get to find the information that they need, to decide actually, yes, this is the website for me, this is the information about the business I need, I want to make an inquiry or I want to purchase a product. And this website architecture also affects how your website is crawled by Google and how it is searched as well. The cleaner, the simpler, the easier to understand the website structure, the better it is for humans and crawlers. So that leads me to a technical website checklist. This is a practical starting point that you can take away. And these slides will come to your email, so I won't go through all of this now. But these are all of the areas that you want to check that you have in place already for your website. So start with your web core vitals to understand what is going on the site and what's happening. If you need to get a developer involved, definitely do. And then go through this checklist to double check all of these areas have been taken care of so that you can improve that website performance over time. Now, Alfonso is coming back onto the screen. Hey, Alfonso.
Hey, Charlie, thank you for the first part. Great one.
Amazing.
Great.
Brilliant. I'm so excited to have you take us through a live demonstration now of how WP Rocket can simplify this for anyone who is thinking about improving their website's performance.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, well, as Charlie was mentioning, one of the main challenges is that if we can move to the next slide, please, the performance and the user experience and how Google is measuring things can be complex. It's complex, the kind of work we have to do to achieve all the good scores, let's say, to improve the LCP, to improve the loading time, to improve, I don't know, many things. Some things are kind of technical. So here comes WP Rocket to the rescue. I'm not sure if I'm controlling the size. Oh, yes, I am controlling the size. Good one. I didn't know that. So what it is, WP Rocket? Sorry, it's my first time using this platform. Please bear with me. The WP Rocket is a full WordPress performance plugin. It's going to start optimizing your website as soon as you activate it. You have a lot of features that work automatically and other features that you can choose manually to enable. One of our goals is to bring simplicity to the complexity of performance. WP Rocket is aimed to be an easy tool to use. Still, it comes back with powerful features. Almost everything you need. It's like a good package where you can improve the CSS, the JavaScript, the images, the caching. So it's like a full stop solution, we could say. And today we will see some of the the performance impact it can bring to your websites with a couple of before and after examples. Okay. Trying to move to the next one. Okay, here it is. So everyone that has worked optimizing websites knows that there is you can do this like with a process or doing it like a fresh experiment each time you start working on a website performance. Usually internally in WP Rocket support team, we have like some steps that we recommend or we take. One is to diagnose, check the performance reports, see the website code, check and diagnose and find the bottlenecks before starting changing things. This is important to understand what's going on because every website is different. Some of them have a lot of third-party resources. You put a lot of advertising, you put huge images, you put a couple of videos. You don't know where the performance is like getting hit. So detecting that is super important to decide the next steps. Then we are going to implement the solutions, choosing the specific optimizations. Implementation is maybe once you know exactly what's going on, implementing the solution can be easy or can be complex sometimes, yes? So then you need to validate what you did because this is like an iteration. You are going to test and iterate, test and iterate and try to find a good performance. Sometimes it takes a bit of work, sometimes it's super easy. And there is another part that performance is an ongoing thing. It's not something that you set and forget. Websites change, you add new sections, you add new pages, you install new scripts, a new tracking script, anything. So you have to monitor and because changes are going to any change you apply to the website are likely going to change also the performance. So this is important. So we have a challenge, which is how to apply this safely and consistently. This is an overview of WPRocket interface. We are preparing a new design in a soon version to come. So this is what you see when you install WPRocket. All the optimizations you can choose are in the sidebar. So how can WPRocket as a tool help you? As I said before, it comes back with a lot of automatic best practices, and you also have some manual optimizations. This is designed specifically for WordPress, and it has been extensively tested. Okay, we have 5.5 million websites using WPRocket. So we've seen a lot of case scenarios, and we included a lot of compatibilities with many themes, plugins, you name it. WPRocket has probably a compatibility for that. It's a full performance plugin, comes with a full package for you. It provides fast first results as soon as you activate it. It's going to start doing its work. The interface aims to be super simple. You can do everything from there. Still, if you have a technical team or you are technical enough, it allows you to tweak things and to do manual work and to maybe extend the plugin for very special case scenarios. For example, I don't know, multilingual websites with multi-currency running in different countries via a CDN. Yes, we have those cases, and we can provide performance for those type of websites. Okay, so we have amongst our automatic features, we are going to include page caching, browser caching, case per load, and this is important because WPRocket is going to detect your XML sitemaps. Charlie was mentioning about that, the structure of your website, and it's going to automatically add it to the performance database, and it's going to start optimizing those URLs. Okay, you cannot even define which sitemaps you want to prioritize. This is good for large websites, for big websites. You can decide some caching strategies, so it's useful. It's also going to detect your critical images. This is going to have a good impact in LCP, for example, the LCP score. And most of the things happen automatically. It refreshes and optimizes content while you do the changes without you having to manually worry about that. So that's also important. It's like you have your performance partner running next to you without you having to be constantly checking what's going on. You also have some manual optimizations you can choose to activate, like remove new CSS, delay JavaScript execution. It's going to optimize all the JavaScript. You can lazy load images, so the weight of the images is much lower. This has a huge. These three features have a huge performance impact. So are important. Also, you can set the image dimensions if in some cases the websites don't have the reserved space, and that moves things around. Google doesn't like that at all. As Charlie mentioned, Google is for fast and stable experiences, and the user experience is super important, super important. So in a store, if you have ever been browsing a store and things start moving around, it's like, oh, it's not cool at all. So this is important. Also, you can integrate your CDN or use WPRocket CDN. And okay, I brought a recorded demo today where we are going to see how you install WPRocket, and the before and after performance. We are going to enable some optimizations. We can proceed. Okay, so this is a classic website. It's a demo website with a performance that it's not so bad, but you can see there is some things to improve. We are installing WPRocket. It's a standard WordPress plugin. After you activate it, you can see the settings page. You are going to be presented with the settings page. Some of the optimizations, you need to activate those manually because some optimizations are safer than others. Our recommendation is to test everything after you activate it. So we are activating delay JavaScript, CSS, and lazy load and images optimization. that's reloading. This is for the cache building. And I'm not sure if that's my noise, but yes. And this is the after result. So as you can see, the performance improvement just by using WProcket was like kind of significant here. Let me see if I can control this. No, it's fine. So we went from a non-pass Core Web Vitals website to a pass Core Web Vitals score. This is another example. This is from a service we have that we optimize websites for customers. It's called Rocket Care. This is on the right side, you can see the before WProcket, and on the left side, the after WProcket. This one is an extreme example of performance optimization. Not every time it's going to be like this, okay? But if you have a site that is full in the reds and with a D grade, with a very bad grade, maybe you are going to get a very good score. Okay? Sometimes you need a little bit of. And this is another example, more classic or more realistic, a site that already has a good score, and after you activate WProcket, things improve. If you check the TBT, the blocking time has severely improved, and the LCP has improved, even if the non-cache version was not too bad. One very important thing, this is very important, WProcket is going to optimize both mobile and desktop versions. Okay, mobile experiences are super important today. So WProcket automatically optimize both versions of the website. Okay, so now we are going to move to a little different topic that in our past major version we introduced MCP. Not sure how many of you are familiar with MCP, but MCP allows you to use your AI agent or your AI software to connect to WProcket and run things, run tasks that usually you should run automatically. So AI can help you with that. Okay, this is super important because when you are optimizing one website, okay, you can go to the dashboard, check it, and that's okay. But let's say you are an agency or you are optimizing like working on 20 websites, 50 websites on your portfolio, and things change, okay? Because you have to run a lot of tasks. So MCP allows you to automate routine checks, coordinate pre-approved performance improvements across all the websites. Is specifically useful for anyone that is managing more than one website, like agencies, in-house teams that has a portfolio, website developer, webmasters, etc. The impact is that allows you to have faster diagnosis, a workflow that is consistent. You can build your own workflow and keep a documentation of changes across every connected website. So let's move to the next one. The challenge, what is problematic when your portfolio of websites grows, it's hard to keep track of what's happening across websites. New pages are added, stack is changing, maybe someone installed a new plugin, the website owner, or they decided to change the theme. There was a WordPress update. Today, for example, a new WordPress version was rolled out. So every time this happens, you have to run manual tasks. Go to every dashboard, check the performance, and that is time consuming. Also, if you put in this mix that you probably need to deliver client reports every month or periodically, it takes time. So it takes a lot of work. Okay, so here is where MCP comes into action, and it can help. Okay, let's move to the next slide, please. Okay, so no, the previous one. Sorry. That one, okay, yes. So with MCP, you can connect your AI tool of preference, for example, Cloud Desktop or Codex. Now it's called ChatGPT, I think the tool, OpenGPT. So what you can do is, for example, we have abilities, and we will be adding more abilities. You can connect and start, for example, checking Rocket Insights. Rocket Insights is an analytics platform we have included inside WP Rocket. It's connected to GTmetrix, and it's going to give you the performance. You can also check WP Rocket settings and ask the AI to propose relevant changes. You can measure the impact of any change. You can also ask the AI to monitor and tell you which websites need improvement and suggest changes. And if you approve, implement the changes. You can automate all this with agents and schedule tasks and do routine checks, ask the AI to propose the change, and also, very important, to build reports for you. Every month you can get an automated report. I brought a couple of examples. Maybe we can check one, Charlie, if we have time. I would like to check that one, yes. So this is an example using Cloud Desktop. We are going to run and build an automated PDF report based on the performance. It's going to connect. This is speed up a bit because it takes a bit of time. It's going to connect to the website via MCP, and it's going to bring all the information, and it's going to give you a PDF report you can use right away. Of course, the PDF report, you can build it as you need, as you want, including the information you want, your branding, anything you need to put there is up to you. We have some examples of this on our website where you can get some prompts and you can start building your own agents. Okay, so I guess that's it for me, from my end. Open to even sending back the mic for you, Charlie. Thank you. I think you are mute.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Alfonso. It was amazing to see inside WP Rocket and everything that you can do within the tool. It's pretty impressive how complex it can get, but also how simple it's been made for people to access. Alfonso, can you tell us how it works with Claude? That example that you just showed on screen, that was those working in Claude. Also, is it connected, or how is it working? What do they need to do if they want to run a report like that?
Oh, yes. In Cloud, for example, where you can connect using two methods. You can connect using OAuth. You define, or using access tokens. You define the access for the access token is a bit more complex, but you can go to the MCP connections inside Cloud and add a new connection. You choose your own custom connection, and the easiest one is to choose OAuth. It's going to redirect you to your website. In your website, you have to authorize that connection, and it's sending back to you to your cloud app, and it's ready. You need to use the desktop app, okay, not the online cloud. Once you are connected, then you can start interacting, asking, for example, okay, what can I do on this website? And it's going to list all the abilities. You can set things, deactivate things, and then you can build over that. For example, build an agent that creates the report. So a prompt could be, hey, connect to all these 5 websites that I have labeled with this label, because you might be working for different type of customers, and build a report based on the performance for the past month. Or keep track of every new page. Every day, connect to the websites, keep track of this. If any new page was added to the website, and monitor its performance and send me a report via Slack. You can also do that. So to be honest, the possibilities are endless. We can be hours talking about this. It's super interesting. It's super new also. We are still learning what to do with that, but it's super exciting. And for people that is working with many websites, it's like, I have cases of, for example, some agencies that work with WP Rocket and has like 100 websites. Sometimes there are issues. There is a new release of a plugin and we have an incompatibility, so they have to turn off one feature. And that means logging into 100 websites or using WP CLI via console. With MCP, it makes it like super fast. So interesting one.
Amazing, thank you. It's pretty impressive to hear how it can work with both and what those opportunities look like. So 3 things that I would say are our key takeaways from today. The first is that performance is foundational to your SEO. Your speed, your stability, how your website's set up is incredibly important for showing in search engines. You also want to measure first and then start fixing what matters. I think it can be really tempting to just start fixing loads, but actually if you take a base measurement, use your web core vitals to find out where you are, or your page speed insights to find out how the website's performing first, then you'll know once you actually start implementing what those improvements look like. Exactly like Alfonso's example, where it shows you going from the D grade to the A grade, or even from a B grade to an A grade, those incremental changes that you make over time. And these aren't always overnight changes. These can take days, weeks, even months to implement over time for your websites to start seeing improvements that actually impact your site speed and your performance, and finding the right tools to make sure that you have a way of managing this over time. As Alfonso said, this is not a one and done situation. This is something that you want to continuously be looking at and implementing, especially if your business, if your websites have a lot of new content, new blog posts, new images, new pages added regularly. You want to make sure you are continuously measuring that website performance over time. If this is the first time you've heard about WP Rocket and you are interested in having a look and trying it out, I'm very pleased to share that they are offering a 15% discount. This is a limited time offer, and you just need to use the code ExposureNinja15 at checkout, and you will be able to install it and try it for yourself, go through exactly what those workflows look like that Alfonso showed with the setup inside the WordPress admin. We have a few minutes to take questions. So Alfonso, I would love to have you back on the mic. The first question we have is, how usable is WP Rocket at caching and performance with other plugins? Is it a good idea to have multiple plugins, or if you want to use WP Rocket, do you need to remove the others so that there's not any conflicts?
Yes, the base concept is that having more performance plugin is not going to improve the performance more. Okay, it's like the simple answer is you only need one performance plugin. And sometimes having more than one plugins are incompatible. So the answer to this is, it depends. If the plugin is going to do the same, it's usually going to be incompatible. You will get a warning when you try to install, because every caching plugin, for example, is going to try to use the same WordPress logic. So those are going to conflict. But when we talk about this is specifically about caching, but when we are talking about other performance optimizations, like for example, lazy load or delay JavaScript execution, sometimes you can use different tools for the same results. Keeping in mind that you should not activate the same option in both plugins.
Okay, so if someone has multiple plugins already installed, they need to make sure they've not got 2 plugins trying to do the same thing to avoid the conflict. But if you've got other plugins installed, there's plenty that it will be absolutely fine with. It's not going to cause conflicts with plugins that do completely different things on the site.
Oh, no, not at all. Quite the opposite. We aim for full compatibility with everything we can. And one more thing, if you have any issues, we have a support team, so you can reach to us, and we are going to, the support team is super highly technical, so we are going to really dig into issues and help fixing issues. So, yes.
Amazing. Well, Alfonso, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing everything about WP Rocket. If people want to find you, can they find you on LinkedIn? Where should they come?
In LinkedIn, I'm appearing LinkedIn as Alfonso Catron. You can find me there. And I'm happy to connect, of course, and answer any questions you have about performance. super interested about that. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Alfonso. And if anyone is interested in Claude Cowork and how you get that working with WP Rocket, you can totally message Alfonso about this.
Yeah.
If you've never used Claude Cowork and you're interested in how you can set that up for your marketing and how it can improve the amount of outputs that you're doing, both on your technical SEO, your website performance, and beyond that, you are very welcome to drop me a message. We work on Claude Cowork at Exposure Ninja and absolutely love it. And we are working on building automated marketing machines within it to help marketing managers improve everything from their website performance and their marketing workflows overall. So I would absolutely love to hear from anyone interested in having a go, or if you're experimenting with it, then let me know what you've been doing on it as well. The webinar slides will be with you a couple of hours after this webinar. Thank you everyone for bearing with us through our technical difficulties today. And Alfonso, thank you so much for joining us today as well.
Thank you, Charlie. Thanks everyone for having me here. Have a great time and thanks for the invitation.
Amazing. Bye.